This is the Mazda CX-9. This is the very last product in Mazda's portfolio to shift over from the old Ford relationship to their exclusive own development program called SkyActiv. Now, the previous model was a shared platform with Ford. Now they have the SkyActiv platform that is used in the CX-5, the Mazda 6. And they just make it a little bit bigger and turn it into a three-row crossover vehicle. I am totally taken with this product. I think this moves to the top of the pack. Look out, Honda Pilot, Highlander, even Infiniti's QX60. I believe that this vehicle is class above on the outside, the inside, and the way it drives. They have three different trim levels here in Canada. There's GS, GT, and Signature. This is the one I think is going to be the volume seller in Canada. It's GSL, L stands for leather. It starts at $41,500 and comes very, very nicely equipped. It rides on 18-inch wheels. You want to get 20-inch wheels, you need to go to the GT model for more money. If you want LED lights in the front and back, you need to get the GT and higher as well. But I think this one, the way it sits, is going to be a big seller. Now, one negative on this product, the lift gate around the back doesn't go up that high. I'm 6 feet tall and I cracked my head the first time getting into this, so something to be aware of. Inside though, as I mentioned, class above. Well, I've always been on record saying that Mazda does class above interiors, and there's no better proof than this vehicle right here. You look at what you have here. You've got a central control unit, you've got an 8-inch screen center mounted in the dash, a rotary volume knob next to it. It's all framed with piano black finish and beautiful chrome detail. This is stuff you would get in a premium product like an Audi or maybe an Infiniti. It really does look first rate and looks class above like a luxury product. And this is sort of the middle to low end of the trim. You can also get the top Signature trim that has open pore wood and Napa leather seats that really does look like a luxury product. So I think they're trying to move the brand upscale, but the pricing really doesn't reflect that. Get to that in a moment. Three-row crossover vehicle with seating for up to 7 people. The back seats really are quite large and comfortable. You can slide them forward and adjust them forward and aft so that you can make more room for the third row passengers. I could easily climb in there. I wouldn't want to be in there for a long road trip, but certainly big enough for kids to take to soccer practice, hockey practice, or even adults if you need to for short periods of time. This particular model I'm in here, the GSL, gets heated front seats, heated steering wheel. You can opt for upgraded features in this vehicle. However, I'm not seeing heated rear seats on any trim level as an option. I might not be reading it properly, but that's the way I see it. But I think this vehicle, the way it sits, for $41.5 grand, as you see it, is a hell of a deal. You don't get navigation, however. You got to go one trim up. But in this day and age of everybody having navigation on their smartphone, do you really need it in your car? So let's take it for a drive. Under the hood, they're doing something different at Mazda. Now, those of you might remember that the old CX-9 had a standard V6 engine. That is gone, replaced by a SkyActiv 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder engine that's turbocharged. It runs on regular gas or premium gas if you want to get more horsepower out of the engine. Out of the gate, it does have good power, 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. However, if you put in premium grade fuel, you don't need to, and I probably wouldn't, you get 250 horsepower, which is quite sizable. Now, Mazda is saying that this engine produces the kind of torque you'd get from a V8 engine, but with a 4-cylinder. The only other company really that's offering this in this class of vehicle is Ford with their EcoBoost engines, but I prefer this setup. It really does feel fantastic. This Mazda CX-9 is capable of 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 8.8 on the highway when equipped with all-wheel drive. Out of the pocket, there's certainly lots of punch. There's great mid-range torque. It's going through a 6-speed SkyActiv automatic transmission that locks up the torque quite early to make it feel direct. In addition, there's even a sports mode here to get more out of the engine and the transmission configuration. It really does come together to make a compelling package. The biggest change right away when I drove this vehicle is the way that it handles, because it's 130 kilos lighter than the outgoing all-wheel drive version. That's a substantial amount of weight, and one of the reasons why SkyActiv technology has benefited Mazda, and you certainly feel it in the handling department. Several years ago, I went on what was called the Mazda Rally. We drove the CX-5 and the old CX-9 through the mountains of Colorado, and that old platform really was nothing compared to this. It's more rigid, it feels more planted, the steering steering is excellent. The engine is certainly up to the job. I really do believe this vehicle goes to the top of the class. If I was choosing a mid-size crossover vehicle in this price range, this is the one that I would pick. The engine might have a little bit more noise than you would get from a 6-cylinder, but turn the radio up and after a few blocks and you get into the corners, you forget all about it. Acceleration really is good. It's really quite surprising. Now, all of the advanced safety features you're coming to expect are not standard in this car, and they're not offered on the lower trim levels like you do with the Honda Pilot. However, you have to get the GT with their technology package at 47 grand to get forward collision warning and all of that advanced safety stuff. Now, every single model in Canada except one comes with all-wheel drive. The base model at $35,300 is front-wheel drive, and then $37,800 to get all-wheel drive. This is the one I think they're going to sell the most of. $41,500 to get the leather interior, nicely equipped. And I did some comparisons here. A Highlander is a few $100s more to get their vehicle with leather interior. You want to get leather in the Pilot, it's $44,600, so $3,000 more. And the Explorer, it's a couple of $1,000s more. One thing, that Honda, the Pilot, does come with their Honda Sensing. If you want to get that in this product, you need to go to the top GT and add a technology package. But I think that for most people, the finish on the inside, the drive, and the wonderful engine are going to be major selling features on top of the way it looks. Hey, thanks for watching, and it really helps if you can subscribe. To watch a full review of the Toyota Highlander, click the picture on the left.